Here we go.
Ghostbusters is directed by Paul Feig, and it stars Kristen Wiig, Melissa McCarthy, Leslie Jones, and Kate McKinnon. And it's the remake of the 1984 classic Ghostbusters. This film follows four women: paranormal enthusiast Erin Gilbert and Abby Yates, nuclear engineer Jillian Holtzman, and the subway worker Patty Tolan. These four women band together to protect New York against paranormal threats. Now, as I mentioned before, this is a remake of the 1984 film that I am a very big fan of, Ghostbusters. Original Ghostbusters is one of the best films of the 1980s. It's hilarious, it's exciting, and it has a perfect cast. But I did not grow up watching that movie, so when they announced that they wanted to do a new Ghostbusters, I wasn't really that opposed to it. And the idea of Ghostbusters is fantastic. You have these four people who are running around New York catching ghosts with these nuclear guns. Like, it's just a very cool and original idea. And with the original cast, they did the first film, and it's fantastic, but then they came back for the second film, and the second film sucks. And we obviously can't have the original cast anymore because of not only their age, but one of them is not with us anymore. So I'm okay with the next best thing, which is a group of women. That's a terrific idea. So I wasn't opposed to this new movie with new Ghostbusters being with a new female heroes for a new generation. That is until I discovered that this movie is actually a remake. Now, if you're a fan of my channel and you've seen my videos before, you know that I do not like remakes. And I've said it time and time again. Do not remake movies that do not need remade. If you cannot improve on them, do not remake them. So the question I had going into it is, why does this movie exist? What is it trying to improve on with the new Ghostbusters? And I really think that the only thing that this movie improved on from the original 1984 film is its special effects. Which, take it for what it's worth, because the original film came out a little over 30 years ago, and obviously they didn't have CGI and all the technology we have today, so it's kind of expected that the special effects would be better. But regardless, this is a very visually impressive movie, and I really liked watching that on a visual level. It was especially cool to see the beam shooting at the ghosts and all the busting of the ghosts in 3D, which I would recommend. So it improved on the visuals, but did it improve on anything else? Not even freaking close. Something I did like about this movie is its cast. I really like everyone in this movie. Kristen Wiig is very funny. Melissa McCarthy's kind of hit and miss with me, but I know she can be good with movies like St. Vincent and Spy. I wasn't quite aware of the other two ladies because I do not watch Saturday Night Live, but I hear that they're really great in it. And I obviously like Chris Hemsworth, aka Thor. And I also really like Paul Feig. As I said before, I really like Spy. Freaks and Geeks is fantastic. Bridesmaids is a pretty funny movie, also consisting of a female cast. Now, I like all of these actors. I like the director, and I like the property that it's remaking. And this should be a recipe for a movie that I really love, right? Wrong. This movie is so painfully unfunny that it hurts. The loudest I got was a chuckle. Everything else was kind of just a violent exhale. But normally I can get past the unfunny jokes. There are plenty of movies that I like that I don't really think are that funny. But it's really hard when this movie beats you over the head with jokes. Every 5 minutes it's just like, you want another joke? How about another? How about another? How about another joke? Now, okay, so maybe the jokes aren't that great, but it's gotta be awesome to see the Ghostbusters back on the big screen, right? Yes. But the problem is, they really don't bust that many ghosts in this film. They bust one at the beginning and one at the end. But I will admit that there's this scene where they're in Times Square fighting these ghosts, and it was so great to see the Ghostbusters fighting these ghosts and using these cool new gadgets. That was so awesome. But unfortunately, for the majority of this film, they really don't bust any ghosts. So when you don't have a lot of action, what you are left with is dialogue, and if the dialogue's not funny, it's really hard to find enjoyment in this film. So maybe the action's not great, maybe the dialogue's not that great, but it's gotta be cool to see the cameos in this movie and see the Ghostbusters showing back up and doing all these crazy, wacky things, right? Oh my god, not at all! This movie has so many winks and nods to the original film that it seems like they're almost like, hey, we know you don't really like what you're seeing right now, but hopefully if we kill you with enough nostalgia, you'll kind of trick yourself into enjoying it, right? And no, it did not. When I saw Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, or Ernie Hudson do these cameos, it didn't make me enjoy this movie more. It made me want to go home and watch the original Ghostbusters to clean my palate, and that's exactly what I did. The unfortunate truth is this movie is just very mediocre. And it's so unbelievably pointless to remake one of the best films of the 1980s when it would have been so freaking easy to just turn this into a sequel. Allow the events of the first two movies to happen and just continue the story. I easily could manipulate the story into fitting in the canon of the previous films. But no, you just had to screw it up and start all over, didn't you? With all that being said, I will say one thing. This movie does not even come close to deserving all the hate it's getting on the internet. This movie does not deserve to have the most disliked movie trailer in YouTube's history. Especially when there's trailers for these movies like Monster Trucks or this new Medea Halloween parody. It's just these garbage, unredeemable films, and they exist out there, and this movie is getting much more hate. The unfortunate fact of the matter is a lot of the hate that this movie is getting is because of misogynistic people. I personally am not against at all for female Ghostbusters. In fact, I really wanted this movie to work. I'm not gonna lie, when the intro ends and then the original Ghostbusters theme comes on and you show the title, I was really excited for this movie. I was pumped up. I was happy to be there. I wanted this movie to offer a new Ghostbusters for a new generation, and I really don't know if it will. And I want to say what your parents say to you when you're a kid and you do something stupid. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. And please, just for the love of God, please stop remaking good movies. Thank you guys for watching today. I hope you liked today's video. If you did, click on the link down below and subscribe to my channel to see more movie reviews and movie-related things. And guys, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.